This is a dashboard using a custom visualization in Reveal inspired by a D3 map component. You'll notice it has to and from destinations based on information in the data set. So here you can see some of the data set. I have origin city and destination city, but most importantly is the latitude and longitude of origin and destination in my data set. You can see as I hover over arcs, there is a tooltip with supplemental data. So this is a custom viz and it's tied into this dashboard. If I change the customer that we happen to be looking at, you'll see that the map re-renders along with all of the other data in the dashboard. So in this case, there's 23 flights. If I go to bolded customer, there are 3 flights. So there's 3 arcs on the map. What I did for this specific example was I just show the arc. I don't show any labels for the to and from city, because in the case of a customer that might have a lot of travel, so in this case there's 12, there's massive label collision on the city names. So basically it's going to be just a guide. How you implement this is completely up to you. It's how I chose to modify the D3 sample to do this. The D3 sample basically shows you how to draw arcs. I did all of the other work in my custom viz. So I was inspired by the D3 graph gallery. This is what you would get in that default map experience, and you can go to the connection map and it kind of gives you a starter point. And I went and added more code to this. So you can see there's a significant amount of code, but it's all related to the map. It really has nothing to do with Reveal. I wanted to deliver a great map experience, but also a custom visualization inside of Reveal. So how does that work? So if we go back up to the top, you'll notice that the first script we're adding is the Reveal Bridge.js. The Reveal Bridge.js is required. It's how the Reveal designer communicates with the data. So what's happening is I'm dragging data from my schema into values or to labels, and the Reveal Bridge is firing events that get picked up inside of your custom visualization, which then will render the data. In my case, if I go to my D3 map and we scroll all the way down to the bottom, we'll see the window.revealBridge listener. Every time I drag a field name to a value or label, I'm going to attempt to draw my component, be it a chart, be it a map, be it whatever. In my case, I require a lot of fields. So I need origin and destination data. I need city and state data. I need an order date. I need a bunch of stuff to make my map experience how I want it. How you do this is up to you. The only thing you have to know is that the Reveal Bridge listener is required, because that's what's actually communicating between your data and your custom visualization. So if I do have all this data, I'll continue along the way. I will create the arrays that I need, the cities, the states, the links, etc. But ultimately, I am going to draw my map. And if I go look at draw map, and again, I'm checking that I have some basic information like my destination and origin coordinates. I have different layers on my map. I've got the map layer, the arc layer, the city layer, the label layer, etc. This is the US states GeoJSON file that I'm using. There's a billion GeoJSON files on the web. You can use whatever you want. And then the rest of this code is just working with each layer and then drawing my arcs, my labels, etc. to make this work. One thing I do want to highlight is if we go back down to our Reveal Bridge listener, you might have noticed the data to JSON function. What this is doing is it's actually getting the incoming data into a JSON format that is required through the bridge to render correctly in Reveal. So Reveal expects a JSON format to bind to any component. This is required, very important. Make sure that you are including this data to JSON function, which will put your data in the format that is required to properly render your component. So when we run this, if I go back to my dashboard, this is my visualization. If I maximize it, you'll see that the visualization resizes. All of that is code inside of my custom visualization. So you have to make sure that your custom component is responding to interactions like you would expect. The tooltip is my custom code. This isn't a reveal tooltip because remember, this is a custom viz. If I go into edit mode and I edit this visualization, you can see that it's here in the designer. And if I start removing fields, you'll notice that my validation is occurring because I'm not drawing that map. So I just removed a few different fields. If I go back here, let's go and add those fields in again. Let's do the destination name. Let's see what else is here for destination. I don't need the IATA. Let's do the origin. We'll do the origin latitude, and we'll do the origin longitude, and now my map draws. So I'm waiting for all that data, and then I'm going to draw this. And that's mostly because this is a complex visualization. There's a lot that I need to draw a map. For ease of use, you might want to have all the data required to render your visualization in a single field. And then what you would do when that's dragged over and the bridge listener picks it up, you would parse it there yourself, and it would kind of happen instantly. So when I build this, there's a lot of dragging and dropping going on because I do need a lot of fields. Also, in my case, it's important that I had a filter and I'm only pulling back a certain amount of data to render. In a visualization like a map, there's a lot of layers and there's a lot of drawing going on. So if I was to bring back all couple thousand of my rows and it's trying to render, multiple thousands of arcs with labels and all that stuff, it will literally lock up your browser. And that's just because it's a lot of data to handle for a component like this. Maps are relatively complex when it comes to drawing. And in this visualization, all the labels are there. They're just hidden. So when I do a hover, I make them visible, and that's how they show up. So you can customize this however you would like. So if I close this out, I'll discard this and I will delete this. So let's go ahead and delete this visualization. Let's go do a new visualization. We'll do Northwind travel. And there's my travel orders. And I'm going to pick the Reveal travel map. And let's go ahead and add all of the fields that we need. And there you go. That video is fast forwarded. You'll notice as well, I did connect my filter before I attempted to render everything, but we'll check the box. And now my map is down here, and we can just go ahead now and kind of rearrange this however we'd like. And there we go. So now I have a beautiful dashboard. When I check the box and save this, now this is saved. And since my filter is connected, I'll just look up another customer and Bolid. You can see they have 3. Let's go to Bonap. You can see when I hover over, I get all of the details for this particular item. And finally, one important point, how did I get the Reveal travel map icon here in its own custom visualization group? Well, that's a client-side API. You can add your own groups and your own icons or logos, text, etc. for as many custom visualizations as you would like. So if we go back to my index.html, you'll see that in my Reveal code here, my on data sources requested, my load dashboard, etc., I am doing a reveal view.charttypes.push. I'm adding a title, the URL, which is my D3 map, and this could be any endpoint. It doesn't matter. Where am I getting my logo from? And then what group should it be in? And once you do this, you will have a beautiful logo with title in a custom group when you add your own visualizations. That's how you'd add a custom visualization using D3 as a map with flight paths in Reveal.